Hello everybody. We have a discussion on the course on computer science engineering. In computer science engineering, we will discuss about the discussion will go on computers. So what basically the computer is, what is the function of computer to compute some arithmetic logical operations. It is having what either hardware, it is having software or operations also, or the operating system. What basically it is operating system, what are registers, what are storage, what is printer, what is output devices, input devices, how, what is buses, what is data bus, what is memory, what is storage. So here we are going to discuss what is processor, what is processor. So here we are going to discuss, here the discussion will go everything in this computer science engineering. In computer science engineering, the discussion will be on something like logic design also, and computer organization, as well as data structure using C. So data structure will discuss. Data structure, if you will discuss, then we will see about the C language also. So if we will discuss about the C language, so we are going to discuss here the C, some of the programming or some of the basic functions which are generally used in either Java, either in C++, C programmings, either somewhere. So we are using these things. Let us suppose the fundamentals of computers and introduction to programming. So what are the fundamentals of computers and how we are going to introduce it into programming? What are programming? Program is a set of sequences and syntaxes and codes which is going to execute after running it. When it is going to run, then when it is going to run only when error or the source is or error free code is there. Whenever the code is supposed to be, or the coding which was written or the programming which was written is error free, and the error finding process is called debugging. That is called debugging. So first of all, initiate the programming and then write the programming and then run it, and some output will come. So what is the, in this regard, if we will initiate with a topic which we will call to be a C language. C language is what a C is a language. This is a case sensitive language. This is having a case sensitive language. Upper case is something, different case is some, lower case is something. So it is a case sensitive language. This language is supposed to be case sensitive C language. And here we have some commands like printf to print something, scanf to input something. So here we have get char, output character, get character, because the data types, that the data types may be of integer type, that may be of character type, that may be of float type. Float means having what, integer means number, float means decimal number, which is having a decimal like 3.14 pi, the value of pi, that is what float type. Here we have a character type also. So variables are also there. Variables is from A to Z. This is mathematical variable. What are here the variable? Variable means whatever the variable are going to define in the programming, they are supposed to be variable, and those variable, what data types they have, they are called to be as the variable with their data types. So what are the functions? How the functions are called by, either called by value, called by reference, what are global function, what are local functions, and what are the different types of function phenomena used inside the programming. We will also discuss in this computer science engineering. We will discuss about the array. Array is what, how the, like the matrix, the array is getting to be defined like the collection and the or the coagulation of elements, that is supposed to be the array. And what are constant mean numbers, here the number constant, they are supposed to be the constant. What is structure, what is how to structure the program, what are the structure, how to define any structure. So that is called structured query. Let us suppose some language is supposed to be structured language, some language is supposed to be OOPS, object oriented programming, or either structured programming or object oriented programming. So if it is having some structure, so it is structured programming, let us suppose. So now identifiers, what are identifiers? Identifiers are generally used to enhance code readability and maintainability. Suppose some code that has to be read, that needs to be readable and that needs to be maintained, then that is called identifier. To identify something, which is going to identify something, that is called identifier. And one thing which is very very important here to discuss is keywords cannot be used as an identifier. Our keywords are already well defined inside the program, so that is why inside the word, that one, see, language, so keywords that cannot be used as an identifier. These are some of the points regarding this few points. We will discuss much more about this computer science in with regard to programming, and the C language we will discuss. Let us suppose we have a small program today in this lecture. Let us suppose here we are going to define this. This is used for preprocessor hash, and then we are using what? This is called include studio.h. It is going to include what? Studio.h. Studio.h it is going to include. Then the start or the initiation of main function is there, which is of integer type. So integer int main function. This is main function. Now within this main function, what is the body of the program? What is the body which is already defined inside the program? Marks. Here we have a marks which is having a prototype of integer. Int marks is equal to 100, and that is what? Semicolon. So marks is called the internal identifier. This is internal identifier. Here what we have discussed here is identifier. That is internal identifier is marks. Marks which is of integer type, that is equal to 100. And then printf, what needs to print? Marks here. And in the inverted comma, what is there? And this is what? This is slash n for new line. This inverted comma is a comment like this. This is like a, this is like a, for the explanation point of view, the value of marks is what? Percentage d. Why it is percentage d? Because here the marks is of type of integer. If it would be a type of float type, then it would be percentage f. So likewise, percentage d here, slash and next line, the marks would be printed like 100, that should be printed, and the program is getting to be what? Close. So this is a small program which is having an identification of internal identifier. Identifier may be different. So identifier, internal identifier which is of integer type, which is having a value within them, marks. So integer main, and that is included with this hashtag, which is preprocessor. So now this is a quite obvious to know that what are the steps in C programming. What steps in C programming that has to be followed? Initially it is having pre-processing. It is having what? Pre-processing. It is having pre-processing. Then compilation. After pre-processing, program would be compiled by the compiler. Compilation process it is called. Then after it is assembly. And this pre-processing is having an extension of what? .i, and that is having an extension of what? .s. This compilation is what? Having .obj, and this is assembly, and then assembly, then what? Linking is there, and the next step is loading, and the loading and then execution would be there. So likewise, these are the steps of what? These are the steps of C programming which are going to step out here also. So these are the steps of the C programming. Here we will write the source code. First of all, source code is written, and then pre-processing is there, and compiler is going to what? Compiler is going to convert code into assembly language. This compiler is going to will go into the compilation, that source or the code into what? Assembly language. And now what is assembler? In assembly, the assembly language that is to be converted into machine language. And then after linker, it is what? It is going to object files plus necessary external libraries. And loading and execution means, loader means execute file into the main memory. So that is what? That is the main thing of what? This loading. So here we have a different steps of what? C programming or any programming. Also we will see the if else ladder also, which is also called if else program or if else statement. If else are using if else, that is called nesting if else. That is called nested if else. Nested means having something like within. So that is called if else statement. And later on the functions are also there, and storage. Storage will be done in terms of memory as well as registers. Registers, they are used to store data, to store computer data, that is called a register. Also memory is used for this storage purpose. So these are some of the things which we have studied in the computer. Also in computer we will discuss data structures, different projects that has been made, and finite automata and formal languages we will discuss, microprocessors, microcontrollers, and programming in Java. We will also discuss the programming in Java, and design and analysis of algorithms we will also do. Design and analysis of algorithms we will do. We will discuss the heuristic algorithm, meta heuristic algorithm. We will also discuss, and we will discuss different types of prediction algorithms. We'll discuss these types of algorithms in algorithms, and statistical data analysis with R. The discussion will be also on statistics. Statistics, that what basically the statistics means, statistical analysis of data, what is probability density function, so how that can be used, what is regression, what is correlation, how we are using this, and different types of, we will discuss about the CPNST also. In this, we will discuss computer applications also. Computer-based numerical and statistical techniques will apply on this computer science engineering, as well as we will discuss operating system software, and DBMS, that is called database management system. It means that how the database that has to be managed inside any company or corporation, that is supposed to be the database management system. It is called in short DBMS. DBMS it is called. We will also discuss the web designing portion, where in web designing we will discuss website making codes and few things, many of the things we will discuss. We will discuss also computer system security. Once the system has been done, it is also needs to be secure. So for that, what is basically the firewall is. And likewise, we will discuss all the things, what is threat, what are computer threats that may occur, what is antivirus, why there is a need to secure any of the network while after structuring the network. So we will also discuss about the computer network and system stability and full stack development. This web development is also called full stack development as well, in which we have a back end, front end, and back end. Front end means that is going to show to the users, and backend means which is going to operate by some operator via some code, that is called backend. So compiler design will also discuss. Compiler design will also discuss how the compiler that is to be designed, and what basically the compilation means. Compilation here means to convert what it into assembly language. Basically we will discuss, and we will discuss to compile or to combine the code into what, convert the code into assembly language. We will just generally do, and dot s is the extension here with. And what we are going to do, we are going to do the computer networks and advanced computer architecture. What is lane, what is main, what is WAN, what is local area network, what is CCNA, what is MCSC, we will discuss. So we'll discuss each and everything. What is Python also, we'll discuss also Python. So they will discuss the computer programmings also. Then what is HTML, what is JSS, what is Java, what is JavaScript. So we will discuss all these things, hypertext markup language, what are its codes, as well as what is the research methodology and IPR. Here this is very important also, is that about the research methodology, because in research methodology portion, one needs to identify the problem, and then have that problem statement, and for the problem statement, by what objective, for what objective that problem statement has to be what informed or gathered or formulated, and then by what method, by what is the literature portion available, what is the previous tracks work, or what are the new invention that has to be defined in that problem formulation. And then what are the research, what are the methodology by which, and what are the procedures on what test system that objective function has to be treated, and then after what results comes after, and what are the conclusion, and what would be the future aspects and future course of action, further guidance for that research also, for that new thing which is comes under, if you will compute it in terms of computer science also. What is IPR, what is patent how to write the copyright. What is basically copyright? The new invention is there. Whenever there is a new invention, it is not directly governed by any, without having any permission by the person who has just done work on it previously and invented and discovered the thing. So that is what basically about the IPR in intellectual property rights, it will call to be as. So we are going to discuss all these things inside this computer science engineering. However, this is some of the things which we have discussed yet about the computer science engineering.